Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great because Barkley is NFC Player of the Month.
Wow, okay. So Saquon, I know last time, guys, we were talking about Saquon for MVP, and he only added to his case, I think, last week. So against the Ravens, I mean, that was a tremendous game. I mean, if you were to take a look at the box score of that game, you see Ravens won time of possession, Ravens won yards, a lot of things that, you know, if you just looked at a box score, might go the Ravens' way. And yet the Eagles won that game, took it over late in the second quarter, and just ran away with it, really.
A couple missed field goals definitely helped the situation with Tucker missing a few.
I mean, because they marched down the field the first two drives.
Yes, they did.
Like, literally, like, boom, right down the field. Boom,
Missed extra point and two missed field goals, right? Or
two field goals and an extra
Yes,
point.
it was 7
Seven
points.
total.
It was 7 points total. Eagles won the game by 5. So
And
that's
we're
the
up-
difference right there. I mean,
And I think we're up 14-9, about to go into half, and they were about to make it 14-12.
they did. He made that kick right before half, I believe.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
mistaken. I thought he missed.
We went in 14-12.
Oh, was it going to be 15-14?
It was going to be 15-14 after halftime in the third
Okay,
quarter.
all right, yeah, I'm mistaken.
That was the second, the 44-yard or whatever he missed.
But yeah, it's definitely a different mindset, you know, if you're down one or you're up there, you know, because if you get a field goal, then you make it a touchdown game. The Ravens have to score a touchdown, but if you're down one, you kick a field goal, then they only got to kick a field goal to go back up, so that, you know, your mindset and your play calling is a little bit different, but that happens every week in the NFL. You got to play the game that's in front of you.
And I was just glad that Sirianni wasn't chasing points from the door, because
No.
he really could have.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't at all. He's kind of settled down over the last couple of weeks, Sirianni, with some of the stuff. And I was just...
Yeah,
look,
Dom's dropping a couple Xanax in his coffee freaking at 12:35 before the game.
And you're, I saw this week a bunch of different pundits like Ross Tucker and Baldinger and some other guys said that your whipping boy Jordan Davis hack probably had his best game of maybe his career or the season.
Yeah, I know, but that's his best game? Two tackles?
he was pretty good, and Carter's amazing.
Dude, it's more than just stats.
I know it is. I know it's plugging shit up, but listen, if Jalen's getting triple teamed, Jordan, get to the goddamn quarterback.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
You
hear
know what
ya.
I'm saying?
he's
I
not
want to see sacks with Jalen getting triple teamed.
They showed a lot of
We
plays.
are sacking the quarterback. It's just not him.
Yeah, they showed a lot of plays in the film study where he was basically making the play but doesn't get credit for the tackle, which happens a lot with Jalen Carter, and because, you know, he rushes up the field, stops the guy from going to the right, and then he cuts back and somebody else makes the tackle. But that guy who stops you from going to the right-hand side really makes the play.
Yeah.
But, you know, cohesively as a unit, just trying to give Jordan Davis a little props here.
Yeah, but also if you look at the percentage of plays that Carter is playing in a game,
It's like every
and the
every
It's
play.
100% of the plays.
He's
It's
played
ridiculous.
26% of them like the week before this. You know what I mean? He's not playing a shitload of snaps.
No,
He's not a pass rusher.
No, he's not. But
I don't care. The dude is a number one pick. The dude should be out there more than 30% of your plays in a game.
But
I hear you,
can't,
Hack.
you,
I hear you.
can't make somebody that they're not. At
True.
the end of the day, okay, is he the 13th overall pick in the first round? No,
Well, and
but
then if he's not a pass rusher, then stick him over the goddamn center's head.
That's basically what they do.
He's in the A gap. Stick him right on the center's head.
Well, that's not what I mean, dude. I can't argue with what they're doing. They're being successful.
Their
They're
defense,
stopping.
man. Nolan Smith is playing great.
Our backfield is playing great, and Carter's playing great.
Yeah, but anybody can get anybody. We're not getting rushed on, and you can have the greatest secondary in the world, but if
Derrick Henry was gashing us for 5.5 yards a carry the first half.
He was, but in the second
Gashing
half,
us every first down.
and how about that
Every
tackle?
first down.
I mean, it's a highlight reel tackle
What did it amount to? A loss.
for Cooper DeJean. on that-
Two missed field goals, missed extra
DeJean.
point.
DeJean.
changes the
Cooper to
game.
John, baby.
Cooper DeJean, that tackle on Derrick Henry in the open field was awesome. That was like, man.
Dude, he could have rumbled for another 20 maybe.
Oh, yeah, if he got past him, absolutely. I mean, Henry is just an amazing player, and I still think the Ravens are really in competition in the AFC. I know they've accumulated a couple losses this year, but
Dude,
that's a big
put
one.
the ball on the ground 5 times and we couldn't get one break.
There was no turnovers in the game,
I know
right?
they put the ball on the ground constantly.
And I'm surprised Lamar didn't run more. And he actually said it after the game. Before the game, I bet over Lamar rushing, and then I actually bumped it up like 20 to 30 yards because I thought, like as a prop, I thought that was the way he was going to be successful.
He had that one carry. I think it was for like 30, 40 yards. He had the big
Towards
one.
the end of the game,
Yeah.
towards the end
Other
of the
than
game,
that,
but
he didn't really have much.
Yeah, I felt like he had opportunities, but maybe he wanted to prove because people say he's not a great passer, which, I'm actually like kind of a truther in. But heck,
he's not super accurate.
but
Not
one
at
thing
all.
you were saying about our defense that I don't think a lot of people recognize, that I actually recognized like maybe like halfway through the year, that Fangio's, like you were saying Henry was getting like 5 yards a carry in the first half or whatever.
Every first down. First down.
Fangio really likes to start out games super vanilla. And then
See what you do.
And then he finds out what you do, and I mean,
Well, it's the truth because our second half adjustments, usually they don't come till the second half, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our second half adjustments have been great.
have been insane. He
But
usually
we got
finds
to
out
do it
what
in the
you
middle
do.
of the second quarter. We were there already.
Right, and you're playing with fire a little bit if you can't score and you get down against a team that can't, waiting that long. It's just like our first quarter offense. They kind of wait and see what the defense is giving us, and then we adjust in the second, third, fourth quarter. But it could end up biting you, but they're playing really, really well.
They are.
Right now.
We got
It's
the
hard to argue.
Panthers this weekend. I mean, if they don't win that game, I know the Panthers have been playing a little bit better, but and it's Saquon Barkley, hack, to your point. I think he's sitting at just under 1,500 yards on this season. They got, 5 games left?
Yeah, 14,996 or something.
It's $15.99.
$14.99.
$14.99, and then he has 5 games left. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the 2,000 yards certainly is in his eyesights right now. I think
And the record is
21 something.
21-05.
Yeah, so
It's still Dickerson,
In
correct?
16 games.
So
It was
it's
16
5,
that Dickerson
6
did it in, Hack? Okay.
All
so
right,
that-
O.J. Simpson. O.J.
Simpson
Simpson
was
did it in
14.
14, and Dickerson beat it in 16 games. No, it's not going to matter at the end of the day.
Listen to me. It does matter. It doesn't matter now because it's years later. But I remember when Dickerson broke it. The talk it was always, "Hey, Dickerson broke the record, but it took an extra game."
2 extra games, actually.
Whatever the hell it was, you know what I'm saying?
Or whatever.
Well, that's right. They jumped from 14 to 16.
16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But that was the talk then. That's not the talk now. But you better goddamn well believe if he beats this by 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, whatever it is, he's not going to, unless something crazy happens, he can crush it. But the talk will be, he's got an extra game.
True.
They will always say, hey, he's got the record, but it is an extra
I
game
just
that
don't
he
think
played.
it's going
For
to
some
matter
time.
because
Not in the
people...
long run.
Just because people... I mean, think of how many records have been broken since the end of time. I mean, the one... What was it? Reggie White had like 20 sacks in 12 games or something like that. That was like ridiculous. Like
21.
that should be the sack record.
21.
Like literally.
Yeah.
He had 21 sacks in like 12 games. I think they played back
They
then.
didn't
It
even
was
start
like,
counting sacks until the early 80s, right, Hack?
Mid.
Mid-80s?
Yeah, I think it might even been later
My
than
dad
that.
always says, like, Deacon Jones should have the sack
No,
record.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So-
but just think about a record like that. Like
I know,
that's
it's
insane.
crazy.
Imagine
So-
if he had 16 games. He
Who
might have had
knows?
35 sacks.
Well, I mean, look, the Eagles obviously are firing on all cylinders right now. Things are looking up for us, so we will be continuing to root for our birds as the season goes
What
on.
was your record prediction?
Oh, shut up. You guys made some bad predictions, too.
And the Redskins
like
are
the
going...
Jets. My prediction before the season was like 8-9, so I was
I think I was 10-7.
totally. I was totally off, man. Sometimes you're off.
I
Sometimes
think I want to say I was 11-5.
We'll have to go back and check the
Dude,
tape.
but we didn't know these two corners were going to be unbelievable.
No.
We didn't know Baum was going to be playing this good.
No, and I was
You know
also
what I mean?
down.
We got another new offensive coordinator 3-4 years in a row.
I was down on
You had no right to
Sirianni.
think that they were going to be great.
I wasn't a buy. I didn't buy in. I mean, look, I'm an Eagles fan. I always root for them to win. I just was a little down on them before the year, and they've proven me wrong. So they totally outpassed what I thought they would do this year, and they've been.
Hey, and you
awesome.
probably hoped that they would prove you
No,
wrong.
yeah, of
So
course,
either way,
yeah.
either way, it's a win-win. Either way.
Come on, man. I bleed green, dude. Coming up here, guys, on the show this week, we watched the Survivor Series from the Rogers Arena.
Do we want to give somebody props
Oh,
before?
God, we have to.
Yeah.
So I want to say, if you guys haven't had the chance, check
Hold on, let me do a shot of Danos to this guy.
Okay, there you go, Hack.
All right.
Well, Danos
Yeah.
shot him.
Yeah, he deserves one.
He definitely, Chris, definitely the V-Man, definitely, dude. This guy, we met him WrestleMania weekend, and the way that we met Chris,
I met him.
Hack
These
met him.
guys just jumped on my jock as usual.
Hack met him first. So the story is,
And they
if you guys-
completely forgot about him
Yeah,
10
totally.
seconds later.
I stole his joy back.
You did. So WrestleMania weekend, just to give you guys a little recap, Hack was so tired of being through signings and just his social battery was low. So he wanted to go out. He knew that there was a crowd around the block of the ECW arena, and he was like,
The largest I had ever seen.
Ollie, follow me with the camera, and they did this amazing video. It's up on our Instagram, it's up on our social. And Hack, in the video, he walks through the whole crowd, he entertains everybody waiting in line. He steals a joint from this guy, right? And he's smoking a joint with him.
He offered me a hit,
He
and then I
did.
took it and just kept walking with it.
And he pretended to steal it. He gave it back to him. It was hilarious. And then I saw this guy walking into WrestleMania
I don't
night
know
one.
how.
I saw him WrestleMania night one.
That's hilarious.
I end up exchanging information with him, becoming friends with this guy, Chris, the V-Man from Vancouver. Chris, you are the fucking man. And then Chris got us on the local news here, Fox 29, for the
greatest thing ever.
for the Eclipse party. The camera just goes to this guy, right?
Gave us a shout out on, what was it, Fox News?
Fox's News
Yeah.
for the Eclipse party. They were
Shout
having.
out to the Sandman
Yeah, the
podcast,
Sandman.
Brian Tosh, and yeah.
Greatest thing
Literally
It was
on
amazing.
your 6 o'clock Fox News.
It was so that was one of our favorite moments of doing the show so far, right?
Dude, hold on, and I loved it where he was shaking hands with the statue, dude. And remember, I looked up who the statue was.
Yeah, it was Pat Quinn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He used to coach the Flyers. He
yeah,
do Stanley
Vancouver.
Cup.
He was in Vancouver.
Yeah, in Vancouver. So, Chris, it was he's a local guy, so he hit me up. He said he's going to Survivor Series, and I gave him the idea to go around and interview some fans. So we're going to put that up on our social media of him interviewing fans. And Chris, and the one thing I got to call
By the
out-
way, anybody could do that. You guys, if you think it's something good that we'll like, send it to us. Dude.
Yes.
Yeah, any ideas, anything that you can pass through us, for sure.
Absolutely.
Show us something good.
Yeah.
Show us something cool. Show us something different.
Yes. So Chris goes and he's handing out flyers for the show. He's interviewing fans before the Survivor Series. And he happens to have, if you haven't seen this on our social media yet, this thing is a cannon.
Joint half the size of my cake.
This is a 2-foot joint he's smoking in public. Just this thing. I mean, it literally looked like a Viking horn. He has to have a friend like Spot.
It's a symbol.
He had to have a friend help hold it. This thing was amazing. And Chris, dude, the way the V-Man, he's got the camera looks for him. He weasels his way over to the WWE pregame show, and you can see him on camera. We have it up on our social. He's ripping the 2-foot joint. The V-Man, you are the first person in WWE history to be smoking a 2-foot doob on their camera on a broadcast.
Greatest thing ever.
Shout out V-Man.
Shout out to V-Man. Listen, a lot of people are out there podcasting to grift and holding on to old grudges. The Sandman podcast, we're out there to have guys photobomb a WWE pregame show with a 2-foot joint. That's what separates us from the other podcasts out there.
That's the kind of party we like to
That's
have.
right. So that's the Sandman podcast.
V-Man.
Hey,
V-Man, Chris, thank you so much for everything
thanks
you did.
for going out there, doing that, having a good time, and showing us
Oh,
love.
well, thank you, Danos, for the bottles of liquor you just said. I've already had like 5 shots. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice.
Yeah, Hack's feeling
The
a little
jalapeno pineapple.
There you go. Hack's feeling a little dangerous tonight.
A little Danos tonight.
So this show, the Survivor Series, was from the Rogers Arena. They did have a really big house there. Hacker, you all right? That's not from the Danos. That's from the show.
That's from the pay-per-view.
Okay, that's from the pay-per-view. So they did have a big crowd there. I know the crowd. Look, I mean, they've been
17,647. I don't know how many times they had to announce that. But they have. What was I heard? Are they like on like 67 straight sellouts in a row or so? They said something.
They're
like
on a huge run, right? Like, I mean, the business is
selling out everywhere, every day.
And I'm like, we'll talk about it more later after when we finish the show. But I'm like, man, some of these shows are a little underwhelming, and I wonder if it's gonna. I wonder when the wheels are gonna start to fall off a little bit on some of the hot business of WWE right now, because. I don't know. The show to me, we'll wait till we review it.
Let me tell you a quick story. So,
okay.
Ty had a problem going on when you get on
Peacock.
When you get on Peacock and finding the pay-per-view and stuff like that. So I heard that, but I didn't want to watch it. I don't like to watch the pay-per-view when they watch it because I don't want the cross opinions going between me, Ali, and Ty. You know what I'm saying? I like to watch it by myself so I can stop and make some notes. So I go to
Peacock.
Peacock Survivor Series, and I just scroll down to the very last Survivor Series, which was like number 36.
Okay.
It's last year's. I'm watching it. I'm 20 minutes in, and I still don't realize that freaking I'm watching the wrong pay-per-view.
Oh, God.
Because Shotzi's in here. I'm making notes. Shotzi, ropes on head. Freaking.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hack goes, Charlotte came back?
Yeah. So, because I fast-forwarded through the entrances, you know what I mean? And then so Charlotte's one of the girls that comes in, like the third or fourth girl or whatever. And I turned to Ty, I'm like, I didn't know Charlotte was back.
And in my head, I'm thinking he's thinking it's Rhea.
Oh,
like because of the mask, and maybe he's hiding something. I'm like, Charlotte. I'm like, no, and he's like, you forgot Charlotte came back?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, hold on a second, because I'm like way in the other room. I like walk over. I'm like, dude, this ain't it. I'm like, what? But there was a problem because I did it when I went to rewatch it because I didn't watch it live. I went to Survivor Series and went to the most recent one at the top thinking it would be this year's, but they didn't have this year's up there yet. It was 2023's. Okay. So I had to like work my way around it to like go to like live events and then like Survivor, like Battle Wars or whatever it was, and then I found it. But
it was a lot of the same girls, though, too. I mean, Bailey's in it, stuff like. And then I'm talking about. I'm like, well, why are they talking about Damage Control? I thought Bailey left Damage Control. Was Bailey in even?
Yes,
at least I knew that.
Yes, there you go.
But he was so hot because he watched like 30 minutes of like what he's like. Fucking
was it any better? Was it any better than this year's?
No. Well, that was the other thing that got me too, dude. I'm a couple minutes in and I'm like, Ty, this is the shit. He goes, yeah, I know, isn't it?
Oh, God.
So that helped me even more thinking that I know I'm watching the right shit.
Guys, if you're out there and you haven't yet watched Survivor Series, make sure you don't. Other than that,
listen, WWE's not our sponsor.
Do not pay for that, dude. Please do not pay for that pay-per-view.
Other than that, make sure you're watching this year's one and not the 2023 one. So first off, to open the show, they had the War Games match. This was Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, Bayley, and Rhea Ripley taking on Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton, and Raquel Rodriguez. Man, where do we begin with this?
The opening spot screw up?
Yeah.
The very opening spot, those two were like they never even called anything, and they were calling it right after.
And they've been feuding for months.
I know, they know each other great.
It was 5 seconds in, and I went, "Oh my god!" I couldn't believe I literally said, "Oh my god!" The first 5 seconds into the match, I'm like, "Dude."
The first couple minutes were a joke, and then they did this tug of war, and you could see Bailey calling out a spot right there.
You could hear it on the camera too. Oh my god!
I'm like, dude, did you guys talk before you came out here?
No, this was just terrible. I hated this match so much. I don't want to just shit on this, but man, Nia Jax in this, like, this is a War Games match, and this is part of my issue with the show. You can't just have a War Games match. It has to be because it's been built up to that stipulation. And you can't just say, hey, well, the men's are getting one later, so we got to do one for the women's. Do an elimination match, a traditional Survivor Series. Do something different. Don't force 2 Survivor Series War Games matches on the card if you don't have the rivalry to suit the stipulation. That's
I was just gonna say I don't like the fact that all the women have to be and the men also. So it's not just me, but like it's not just them. But I don't because you're waiting the entire time. It doesn't start until everybody's in the match, so you're not invested in what's really going on prior. Like you are, but you're not. How much can you really do without a false or a, it's just a bunch of cluster until everybody gets in the ring and then the match
was the problem.
starts.
There really was 2 matches here. The one that everybody put together by themselves without, like, this girl's like, oh, when I get near you, when you come in. You notice how everybody goes to the back ring when a new person's coming in, so you can set up your spot, you got the whole ring and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But then it was just such a cluster. Every chair shot was freaking horrible.
Can we talk about Nia's Hulk Hogan chair shots?
Oh my
That was
God.
a tribute. That was a tribute to the Hulkster, right? I mean,
Speaking of which, did nobody set anything up under the ring and know where anything was?
Who
Because
the hell
missed
did
the
not
table.
know where anything was?
None
Didn't
of them
bring
knew
anything
where
in.
anything was. The first 6 girls walked up and looked under the very front of the ramp of the apron, and there was nothing there. And the first 6 girls did it. I'm like, are you guys not watching what's going on? And did you guys not?
That's another thing that bothers me about the match is that everybody has to go under the ring and bring something in before
Yes.
they go in.
Yes.
Why?
It was Raquel Rodriguez who was looking for the table, didn't bring anything in, and then just went in the ring. Like she was looking for a table for
Well,
like
I
10
think
seconds
somebody
or so.
she brought the table out, I think, to kind
And
of
then
like
Mommy came out
until
and got the
to
table.
like tease the crowd, and then kind of gave you the fuck you to the crowd. I'm not bringing a table in.
Dude,
But
and there's no reason Io Sky had to go all the way to the other end of the freaking ring to pull her trash can out. Because she was climbing up that edge, but she came in looking for it on the one side right as you come in, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Well, go ahead.
It
go
made
ahead.
sense that the can was on the other side, but how does she not know that?
Yeah.
Or is she just trying to play it off?
I
You
don't
can't
know.
be that
I'm saying,
stupid.
no. I'm
When
saying
every
like to the
single
fans.
girl's
I'm
going
saying
under
like
there.
to the fans. Like, are you trying to play that off? Like, hey, I didn't stash this underneath the ring, but
But it's in
clearly
her colors.
you did.
Because
Yeah,
it's in
right.
her
Yeah, but then
But
start
clearly you
looking
did
at a
it,
couple
so, like-
spots. Don't run right around to where it is then.
Oh God! And the other thing too with that hack, you make me think about the spot that they built up to, which is they wanted to go for that really crazy visual of Tiffany hitting her moonsault and Io hitting the spot at the same time. And for whatever reason, I don't know if the trash can was stuck on something. She was taking forever to set that up. And then you have the girls that are both separated, the ones in the one side, the ones in the other, and they're brawling, but they're just like waiting to catch. And if they're waiting
And
to
then they
catch,
didn't even catch.
they didn't even catch. They're waiting forever.
Io got left there. She might as well just done it with not a girl there.
I mean, just oh my God, this was just an absolute cluster. I don't even like.
Ali, your thoughts?
Yeah, Ollie.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Like everything was just like slow. There was no rhythm.
Slow.
Nobody's hitting anybody with anything.
No.
Like chairs,
Kicks
whatever
are weak.
weapon they bring in. Like it's just.
Oh,
And
who's
like Ty's saying, it's such a hard match to make like good and keep people invested until everybody gets in there.
It's not though because I
The
saw
men
WC.
did a great job at it.
Yeah.
They were doing their double teams when the time was right and everything. You know what I mean? The men's was
There's
much better.
But even then,
before the match started.
There's a rhythm to how you do a War Games match, right? You build up
And
the
any
heat.
ECW guy would have been great at it because that's just the stuff we did. You know what I mean? Those girls are so out of their element. It's ridiculous.
They are, but I wonder who put that match together and how it was structured because it just, I don't know if it went wonky from the way it was set up or if girls just missed spots. I mean, there was so many missed spots in this match. There was so much that was just like, and it went forever. I mean, how long was this match, Ollie? 4 hours and 20
Oh,
minutes?
did you see Io Sky hit the girl with the
38
wrong side
minutes?
of the chair and then Bailey had to come over
Yeah.
and take it from her and turn it over?
Yes.
hit it with the wrong
When
side?
they were setting
yeah.
all them chairs up on, I'm like, dude, how are you setting the chair up wrong on somebody?
There were so
You're
many,
out of your element.
there were so many missed spots in this match. We can't even. We would
Where
be
they
here
set
all
up
night.
the chair table s thing, and then she
Oh,
does
that
the,
thing
like,
that got broke once, and then somebody else kicks it over, and then they go back and say, all to get what's her name with the long hair on the thing for that one big spot.
And honestly,
which missed too. That moonsault missed.
And honestly,
it completely whiffed.
I thought Nia had been getting better, but she was awful in this match. She was completely awful. Reverting back to my original thoughts of her work, despite all the botches and all the everything, I actually thought Tiffany looked very strong in it. The work that she did, her backhand spring elbow shit, everything she did was kind of tight, but it was tough because everybody was just so off. It wasn't together at all.
But it did get better though once the match started. Like that's their beginning of home, like in a regular match.
Well, yeah, it seemed like there was an actual plan.
It got a lot better.
So that was when Liv came in, and I had
like
issue with Liv coming in too. Liv's a heel, and first off, you set up the match wrong. The face should be the last one in for the big crowd pop to bring the crowd up, right? You bring the baby faces up to even the odds. Of course, it makes sense, right?
But
I know you can't do that for every single one.
No,
but it should be for
mommy leg.
But I feel like they kind of set it up for the bat.
The bat. Look, she's giving Rhea Ripley bat shots, and the girls all have her, and she gave her like 5 or 6 bat shots.
Her ribs should be broken. It should be shattered. It should be done. That should be it. She should be down for the.
She hardly sold them. She hardly sold the bat shots.
Yeah.
Like these things can't mean anything unless you actually make them mean something, and they didn't.
Well, all right. Well, the only thing that was good about the bat spots is at least Rhea had something to sell for the next 11 minutes while they didn't use her for anything.
No, they didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And the bat, it's not a real freaking bat. It's a wiffle ball bat with sponge around it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
I understand that, but you can't portray it as she broke Rhea's orbital bone with the bat. And she's laid out next to a car or whatever, and that's what put her out. And then she comes in, gives her like 6 shots to the ribs, and it's like almost like a nose.
Yeah.
What else do I have in my notes here? Oh, the fire extinguisher spot sucked. They didn't even do that spot right.
They ain't no Chastity, I'll tell you that much.
They ain't no Chastity.
She had me teaching her.
This fire extinguisher sucked. Well,
the only good thing about the fire extinguisher was, as that was going on, 2 different things were getting set up in the ring for when that was done. Somebody was on the top rope somewhere on the one side, and something else was going on. But yeah, that was a good like a segue spot.
The finish was Rhea hitting her riptide through the table and then pinned Liv. I mean, Jesus, this match was just, oh God. I don't know if I can give it 0, but I'm gonna go a half a star for this. Ollie, what do you give this match?
0.
He's going to 0. There we go. Hack.
Dude, it's hard because I did like the finish.
I mean, it was a good spot.
I did like the last 2 minutes were pretty decent, so I got to give it like a 2.5.
A 2.5. You're giving that? That is a generous
2.5
score.
shots.
That's a generous score in my opinion, Hack. But Ty.
And the random toilet seat that was added in
Oh,
there.
the toilet seat was a great spot.
It was, but she still fucked it up in the corner.
3 different times.
Yeah, it kept falling off.
Spinning it around.
Yeah,
so
and she's adjusting it.
I know. It's hilarious.
It's potentially a great spot.
That,
but it was poorly executed.
Yeah, but getting the toilet seat over the big girl's face and then sticking your ass in her face, that was entertaining.
It's a great spot. I just didn't like the fact that she was twisting it on her own
and
head.
how many times are we going to do the Tiffy Money in the Bank, whether she's going to do that?
Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that.
I forgot about it until just now, too. And how many times are we going to do it?
The tease has been done to death.
That's the WWE, dude.
I know, but come on, man.
It's got to come to fruition at some point. Whether she tries to cash in and fails or whatever, it's got to come to fruition at some point. At this point. Yeah.
What do you give it, Ty?
Half a star.
Yeah. I mean, that match just wow. Up next was
didn't get much better on the show though.
There was one. I do like one match on the show, but we'll get to that. Up next was the U.S. title match between LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura. So Nakamura's going with this new dark Nakamura kind of gimmick. He's got.
Dude, how'd he change gear? It's like he was gone for like 2 weeks, and they act like something like he was gone.
He was gone for a while.
He was gone for a good amount.
A while, Hack. He was gone for a while.
I actually saw it and I was like, wait,
Not that
Shinsuke's
long.
back?
Yes, he was. He was gone for months. He was gone for months.
He's been gone for a little while, yeah.
He has been gone for a while, and he feuded with Cody over I can't remember if it was last fall or so, and he started doing the mist, and I do like that element of his character now that he's a heel. He's doing the mist, and he's got the dark mist. He misted LA Knight on SmackDown the night before, and you're building up to this kind of a new character. He's a heel.
What's the new character?
He's an evil villain.
What is it?
He's an evil villain.
It's a darker. Well, they tried.
It's a dark Nakamura.
They tried making him like kind of heel before, but he never really like.
It's like a Japanese comic book thing to me.
It is
Well,
kind of
yes.
like that, Hack. Yes,
But like
absolutely.
they were trying to make him heel, but they never like went like full heel.
Right.
So like to me, this is, and I haven't like seen like too much of it, but to me, this is actually like okay, he's heel.
Yes. And you're right there, bud. I mean, he took a big rip there. That's oh my god.
Dude, I don't
Who
think.
farted?
Didn't he fight Broderick Strong like less than like 6 weeks ago?
No, Broderick
Right
Strong
before
is
he
in
left.
AEW,
And it's
and
not even
no.
Broderick.
Bronson Reed.
It's Roderick.
Don't care.
I forgot about Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick. Yeah. Anyway, Nakamura.
Different company, haven't it?
Nakamura's doing this heel gimmick. LA Knight did get a big pop coming out. This match to me was just like a straight up TV.
It was horrible.
What, LA Knight?
Yeah.
I didn't think he.
You thought this match was half decent?
No, I said he got a pretty decent pop coming out.
Oh.
I'm talking about the match
This
now.
match was horrible.
This match was like a TV match that was Hack's ready to cane me. He's like, you like this match?
No, dude, why did they keep saying LA Knight doesn't look like himself? Was that a setup to set up the loss?
Yes, and he got misted the night before, so they're playing off the mist that he took the night before on
I didn't know
SmackDown.
about the miss the night before.
Yeah.
They could have mentioned that.
I think they did.
Well, I mean, maybe in the beginning, but I fast forward through that
like,
shit. I go right, I fast forward through all the talking and go right to when they start wrestling. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I don't listen to any of the setup.
Yeah, I mean, look, I actually, my buddy Neefsey was over watching this pay-per-view. Hack, your
Neefsey.
boy Neefsey.
Show and tell Neefsey.
yeah, he's
Get
over
that.
there.
I was just told the show and tell closed.
Oh, rest in peace. Smoke one for show and tell.
We can't take CJ there for his 18.
Oh, no.
I'm heartbroken.
Oh, there's always Lou Turk's, Hack. Don't worry.
Dude, I've had some serious memories at show and tell.
Man,
Like,
Oh my boy! Just so everybody knows, when you turn 18, you get a night. You and your friends, and I pay for it, and I take you all down to the strip club.
I'm a little
I was
crest.
16 carrying cases of beer in there.
Yeah, because you can bring your own liquor.
Yeah, it's BYOB. You bring
That
it
was
in there.
get
that was in
naked.
like 06.
It was a different
Okay,
time.
sorry. I mean, still, I was 16.
No, I know, but like,
Carrying in cases of beer, and they're like, "Oh, you were just
Was
standing,
John
you're
Robert
good."
with you?
you weren't uncarded then. No, him.
No, me.
okay.
Stan,
Did we
that's what
bring
we were
you
talking about,
down?
Neefsey.
Yeah,
I went-
Neefsey.
But we would put cases of beer on the thing and be like, because they'd have coolers like behind the bar, and we'd be like, any room in that cooler? And they were like, for what? And they were like, well, Sandman's beer. And they were like, all right, take those guys out and put ours in. Like,
So, this match.
You
no-
gotta break
Yeah.
your kids in young. Oh, I broke Oliver and James in at the Wing Bowl. They saw their first titties for the first time because girls.
I seen titties.
No, dude,
the internet's
like
available.
9 years old.
I went to Wing
Well,
Bowl.
on HBO or something.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Bobby
but you
sucked on
guys
his
were
first
young.
titty for 13 hours.
I went to Wing Bowl with my dad too, Hack. So there you go.
So did I when
Yeah.
I was young. We were there when the dude
Sloth.
threw up the projectile sloth. I was.
Okay.
The whole crowd's chanting
Yeah.
for him to throw up because that's what he did all
I
the
think I might
time.
have been like 14 years old. And Hack's like, yo, get up. We woke up at like 3:30 or 4 a.m. going down to Wing Bowl.
Yep. So
That was way better than this pay-per-view.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Wing Bowl.
Yes, rest in peace, Wing Bowl.
Really?
Back to this match. This match sucked. It was nothing really. It was like a TV match, but not even. I mean, it was like, honestly, there was nothing to it.
I was wondering if somebody was hurt. If LA
That's
Knight
what I
might have been
thought.
hurt.
That's
'Cause they
what I
didn't
thought. I
do
thought
it.
LA Knight was hurt.
They didn't do anything. It never
Nothing.
got
I
like.
think they maybe didn't do anything because they're doing more later.
It's to set up a little program. I think LA Knight's going to get the belt back, obviously. But it was just.
I don't
Is
know,
that
dude.
obvious?
Listen to me.
Well, I mean, I think probably. I don't know. What else is he doing?
Both guys can work. I mean,
You
Yeah.
gotta keep that. You gotta give that championship a little bit more credibility than winning and losing it. I mean, if they want to go to like a trilogy or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But,
but LA Knight really doesn't have anybody to feud with right now, so you gotta.
But they just did that with the Intercontinental, didn't they? The
Little
win,
quick-
lose,
little-
win, lose.
Yeah, then back again. I mean, look, I think you could.
I'm not saying LA Knight wins it back next week.
It could be at the Rumble or maybe even Mania or something. I mean, maybe Elimination Chamber or. I just think.
But if Shinsuke's, I don't perceive him as a heel.
He is right now.
I perceive him as he's a great worker and stuff like that. But I think he is susceptible to the strength of his opponent's heel or babyfaceness.
Okay.
That's fair. He can do a lot better heel work.
Put him in with the right guy.
I think he's kind of washed up now. I think he's kind of coasting. That's the vibe I get from him. Yes, that's the vibe I get from him. I mean, I used to think of him as like the top worker in the business. He was
really good.
One of the top workers in the business. And now I feel like he's kind of like, I'm just kind of coasting.
I mean,
here
he was New Japan for a while.
Right. You know what I mean? He's that many unbelievable great matches he's probably had. And like tough, not like WWE matches. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I wouldn't blame him at all if he was mailing it a little bit.
No, I'm not holding it against him. I'm just saying his work to me is not what it was.
It's decreased.
Yes. And, I mean, look, hey, I hope he has a good run with the belt.
Yeah, but maybe they're giving him the belt now and they're covering up his fucking body. Maybe it's happening a little quicker than his body was ready to get back in shape for it also.
That could be true, too.
I actually did like the finish.
Yeah, I like the Kinshasa for the finish just clean. It kind of was surprising.
I love the cleanliness of it.
Yes, and it was surprising. I mean,
the setup. What did he do? It was something in the
inverted
corner.
DDT kind of thing, I think, or something.
Yeah, and then the King Shasa, and I was like, please don't kick out. Like, because you know how they kick out of that finish. And
Yeah.
there have been like no falses, no nothing. So he hit it, and I didn't like want him to win or anything, but for the integrity of the match, I was like, please don't kick out. And he did it, and I was like, okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the finish. How long is this one, Ollie? This wasn't long at all.
9 minutes.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch this one because I was talking the whole time during this match when we were watching it. I'll give this 2 stars. Ollie?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Just 2. It was nothing. It was a TV match to me. It was nothing really. Hack?
I was really disappointed. I was with these two guys. You know what I mean?
I think you won't be in the near future.
They totally have a better match in them.
2.5.
Oh, that's a generous one there.
I can't give them less than that. They're on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
dude.
about a 2 for me.
Okay. Up next on the show was the Intercontinental title match between... Heck, you didn't like this one? I mean, I thought this match was like the best thing on the show.
Horrible.
Okay.
Thought you were choking on the shit.
This is between Braun...
Better than your barely legal match.
Oh, wow! Shots fired at his pops. Oh, man.
I'm not selling that.
Oh, he's not selling that.
Not Thanos shots.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
cannonballs.
Yeah, seriously. Dangerous, Heck.
Oh, Dennis.
All right, so Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. I thought this match was the best thing on the show by far.
It probably was.
Agreed, but what was the opening spot? Who screwed up in the opening spot? Did anybody catch it?
I'm trying to remember what the opening spot was.
I don't know how you guys don't know this.
Well, so Braun and Sheamus were out of the match and then took Kaiser out of the ring, I think.
Yeah.
And then Kaiser did a drop kick to Braun, I think.
Yeah, and then the spot Breaker and Kaiser. Kaiser freaking... Oh, no. Breaker's outside fucking doing... Breaker's outside beating up Sheamus. The other guy, the Russian guy, the German guy, what's his freaking name again?
Kaiser.
Yeah. Oh, Kaiser Roll. All right. I can remember that now. All right.
Kaiser Roll.
So Kaiser...
It's going to be the one wrestler's name you remember.
Hey, ask Andrade.
Oh, I did it right.
Yeah, so Breaker gets back in the ring, and didn't you notice him run right through his clothesline? Kaiser's clothesline almost ripped his arm off. It was supposed to be a duck until that spot.
No, that's his spot that he's like too strong to clothesline, so like he runs through it.
Yeah, I
is that
interpret
what
it the
that
same
is?
way as Ty. He kind of like does like a no-sell
Yeah,
kinda.
like
Oh, but
because
dude, you can hurt somebody like that.
because his
Easily.
thing is like they talk about like, oh, he hits the ropes at 22 miles an hour, like shit like that. So like it was like him running through a clothesline, like you're not clotheslining him, not like him fucking up the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
right,
just saw
I
it
got
as
ya.
a screw up.
yeah.
I look, the thing that I really enjoyed a couple of the Braun Breaker spots in this, like the one outside shoulder block that he hit where he dives in and he just laid out. Was it Sheamus or I think it was Sheamus?
Yeah, that was nice.
That was a really good spot. And then they did a bunch of stuff with the steps that were okay. They're brawling on the outside.
All their punches sucked.
Sheamus,
Oh my God, Sheamus
has-
cannot throw a punch. Sheamus hit you with his friggin'
yeah,
like, dude, it's horrible. Braun Breaker's punches ain't much better. What's his name's punches are better than those too, but they still blow. Kaiser.
Sheamus was very stiff.
Dude, there was watch that again. Their punches everywhere in this match are horrible.
Okay,
Absolutely horrible.
I mean, you're a punch guy. You're an expert. with
Sheamus is hitting you with his forearm.
Yeah, a lot of those weren't like direct punches.
Oh, they're
I
horrible.
like the spot on the on like the barricade where Sheamus does the.
Did his his
I
tech.
like how they got into that.
That was really cool too because I believe he got both guys there.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, and
spin
it's like- and the-
thing,
it's
get the
like-
guy from behind.
And the crowd's already so into it, and you're doing it basically in the crowd.
Well,
so-
because they teased it and then they didn't give it to him at first, right?
Yes.
He teased it on the ropes.
On the ropes, how he
And then-
normally does it.
Yeah, right. And then they fed back into it, and he was like, I still got you, but it was nice that it was outside next to the barricade.
Yeah, they got back in the ring. Sheamus did a Celtic cross for a 2 count, and then Braun Breaker hit him with his Rana. What did you guys think? I mean, Braun, whenever he hits that, man, I think that's like a money spot.
Yeah, well, maybe you want to put your freaking feet or anywhere near around his head.
yeah, and maybe actually look like you're taking the guy over. He doesn't have to
Something.
front
It's a
flip
joke.
on his own.
Okay, so you think the guy that, like in this case, he's taking the bump
No,
without
the
any...
guy, like when I would do it, and
You're comparing your Rana to his?
But if the Rey Mysterios, any of those guys, they jump up, get a second on his shoulders before you do it. He's doing everything in one swift move, and the guy can't fucking react to it.
I think
And
that's...
he's like off of him before the guy even leaves the
Can't
top
even
rope.
jump, yeah. You got to be like, when he does that next time, you got to have like 1 foot behind, get ready to
But
punch.
also, too, when he's doing that, jumping up to the top rope like that, it's hard to kind of sit there, so you got to go quick. So the dude taking it also has got to be ready.
Yeah.
If you can't sit there, you don't deserve to be a pro wrestler. I don't care how much jumping's going on the ropes around you.
Braun
You
then...
got 5 points of contact. Your ass, your 2 arms, and your 2 hands. 5 points of contact, boys.
Okay. No, it's a good point, Hack. Afterwards, he ran into the chair that was wedged in the corner at the start of the match. There was a really nice...
I like that they left that there for a while. It was just there. You know?
I love when weapons are set up and they let them wait for a while, right? Like that's one of my favorite things in wrestling. But one of the things that bothered me about this, and it's WWE 3-ways in general, the fact that they're no DQ. I don't like that they're no DQ. It should be no DQ should be a stipulation only. It shouldn't be it's a 3-way match. We have to have no disqualifications. Like that doesn't gel. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that rule that they have in place?
I think it's fine, just because whenever you get out of your normal one-on-one or your normal tag teams, the rules are like kind of meant to be broken. If not like chairs and everything like that, but like your normal matches are your one-on-one and your 2-on-2.
But you don't
So-
get DQ'd even in a regular match for a chair nowadays either.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
like to just blatantly have a
They'll, like,
chair set up
tease
like
it,
that,
but-
or brawl outside, pull out the ref. Like I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather there be rules.
But in this kind of show, it would have been better, I think, if this was a straight, clean, nothing bullshit match because of the war
Because you have
games
2
around.
war
it.
games, man.
Yeah,
Right.
it didn't need plunder.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like you got these 3 guys that can really work. I mean, or at least 2 of them.
Nobody's getting counted out.
Right.
nothing,
To me,
you know.
I don't care for that being like a rule. that
I
they
thought
have.
Sheamus was mailing this in.
Really, because I thought he was working really hard.
Is
That's-
that right?
Yes. That's interesting because the crowd came really alive for him when he hit the brogue kick. That was a real great visual. He got the visual pin on Braun, basically.
You need to teach Jay Cargo how to do that.
I don't know if that's worth teaching, but
She needs to learn the Coochie Kanrana.
Well, she's injured right now, so hopefully she recovers.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah, she's hurt. So hopefully.
Injured.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Or repackaging her.
I don't know. But anyway,
How can you even do that? Oh my God, you push her that much? Bianca's like, yeah, that's right, bitch. You heard me.
That was a great near fall, and then they pulled out the ref. Then Kaiser was facing off with Sheamus. They had a nice little section too, and then Sheamus hit him with a knee strike, which I thought was really good for a 2 count. And then it became Sheamus and Braun again, and the crowd was really into it at this point. Kaiser,
The crowd was with him the whole time.
Yeah. This was like some of the best reactions of the night. I feel like,
for sure.
Well, yeah, it was the best match.
Kaiser then hit a rolling senton on Sheamus and a DDT. Braun Breaker then hit a spear on Sheamus and pinned him to keep the belt. How long did this one go? 15 minutes, Ollie?
14.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like it was just getting to be like could be a great match, and then it just kind of ended. Not that they needed to kick out of a ton of stuff, but I feel like if it went maybe a minute or two longer with another little section, it could have been a really great match.
Problem.
Yes.
Who was the baby and who was the heel?
Well, Sheamus was the babyface, and that was it. And Braun's a tweener, and Kaiser's the heel.
Dude, that's the problem in the match.
You needed.
It just really is.
So you think?
What do you need? 2 babies, 1 heel?
Well, I'm not saying that you need anything, but what I'm saying is Braun, when he's beating the shit out of people, is a baby. But you got Sheamus could be more of a big baby than him when Braun's not beating up somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They love the
psychology of the match.
Yeah, and they love it that like Braun's like more like like an ultimate warrior kind of like come in fast, be super strong, and they can love that. Well, you put that dude against a Sheamus babyface, dude. Braun wasn't the babyface after that match.
No, he wasn't.
Right,
No, he
that's
wasn't.
the problem.
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying there, Hack. I think part of the story of this.
And nobody cares about Kaiser.
No, not right now.
He's
not
like the
this
Buff
level.
Bagwell. You know what I'm saying? Papa.
Well, they're trying to separate him from Gunther.
They are.
He was like
Yes,
Gunther's lackey, and they're trying to separate him from.
And he can really work. I mean, he's
Oh
pretty good.
no, the kid's got it. He's got it all.
I like his facials. I like his selling.
He was
He needs to just find his character.
Yeah, he was catching some
absolutely,
heat.
Ollie.
Like he was catching some heat, and he was working some decent heat. But it's baby steps in his new like singles like role.
The crowd is totally.
He needs a repackaging.
Yeah.
That's what
That's what
he
I'm
needs.
saying.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
He needs a kid,
Find
the
a character.
Kinsaki thing. He needs to go bye-bye for a little while and then come back and repackage him.
The crowd is really behind the idea of Sheamus finally winning the WWE IC title. He's never held that belt, and that would complete him for winning every title in the company. And so I think that's a good like long-term storyline for them. Eventually, whenever they do deliver on if they ever do choose to Sheamus IC title win, I think we'll get a huge pop. So I don't know for this match. I'm gonna go. Just a hair under 4. I'm going to go 3 3/4 stars. Yeah, just a hair under 4 stars. Ollie?
3.
3? Hack?
I hated the finish took a hair too long for me, but I liked how they got 2.75.
2.75.
I'll go 3.
3.
Solid work all around. I thought.
Yeah, I'm a little more bullish on this than you guys. I really enjoyed it towards the end.
Well, are you putting it at a 3.75 because the rest was shit, or?
No, I thought this match could stand on its own as like that's to
right.
me.
Yeah, all
it was
right.
close to a 4 to me. If it a couple things Hack's looking at me like,
That's
what the
fine.
fuck are you talking about?
You're nuts.
Yeah, that's fine. I
liked it,
gave it a
man.
3. I thought it was solid ass work.
Yeah.
Like, good match.
Up next on the show was the World Heavyweight title match between Gunther and Damian Priest. Man, again, back to your point, Hack, about...
Didn't I just see this match?
Well, I want to say this, Hack, too, about your point that you made about Bayley and Nia Jax. They've worked together a lot recently, and yet you'd think it was the first time. These two guys have worked a bunch recently, and I feel like we saw this exact same match, same finish.
Boring.
Yeah.
That's literally the only note I have on this match. Is
Boring.
boring. And all
I don't
that.
even have a note.
But we saw the same finish. Finn Balor coming in, costing Damian Priest the match. This is a rerun. It's a rerun.
Why didn't they just go into Priest and Baylor after the last one?
They should
Did you
have.
find Gunther somebody new?
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should have. This to me was nothing much. Did not really care for it. I
And I hate the shoulder thing in a championship match?
What the selling
priest.
that
The priest, like,
did you buy
popped
that
his
as
shoulder.
actually getting hurt? I kind of did for a second.
Actually, I thought he. I actually thought for like half a second he played it off right because he was like, motherfucker, like shit. Like
Yes.
he wasn't like doing like the whole like bullshit. Like
No,
like,
he looked aggravated.
yeah, like he was like fuck, like walking around and the ref like kept like checking him like. Not like checking him like, oh, you okay? Like he was doing the like, yo, you good? Like,
Yeah.
and he was like, nah, I'm good. So like for half a second, but then once he kept, as soon as Gunther went to work it, I was like, okay, well he's not hurt.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's just in a championship match, the non-champion baby should not be selling a body part. If anything, the heel champion should be the one that's got the body part hurt, and he's fucking.
You don't agree with that, Hack?
Well, no. If you like Gunther's deal is he's a wrestler's wrestler. You know what I mean? He can work a body part. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So that was the best thing that I liked
No,
about
but
the match.
I don't like it in a championship match as a baby.
I know what
as
you're
a
saying,
baby
Ty.
Well, you can't take
non-champion.
away a baby's freaking arm.
That's like a baby
I get that.
non-champion trying to
Yeah.
fight for the belt. I can't.
You're saying as a heel, Gunther's got to show more ass. Like he's got to sell more. Is what you're
Well,
saying, basically.
Not only that. I just don't think that the baby's already got the baby non-champion already has the uphill climb to get the belt. There's no. He's already got sympathy. There's no need for to add the arm injury as like a thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's what can the baby find to beat the champion?
Yeah, if Priest was the champion and he overcame the shoulder injury to beat the heel vying for the belt, sure. But
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like the dichotomy of that.
Well, to me, I know Gunther's the heel, but to me, the other kid's not the baby. The other kid was a whole total heel, right? When he was with mommy and freaking.
Yeah, but he's no longer.
I know, but that ain't that long ago. No longer that he's established himself
But
as
Gunther-
a fire-up babyface
No.
character. Like, come on, you know what I mean? That's not him.
Well, that's why that's why working the shoulder doesn't make any sense to me. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he is the Cody Rhodes, that's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like the fire up, yeah, fighting through the shoulder injury. Like, all right, I get that, but Priest isn't in that. He's eye to eye, toe to toe
Yes.
with Gunther going at it. Like you don't need that as.
And it's really a booking problem.
So yeah,
Right.
I
It
agree.
really is a booking problem.
Right.
Why book those two together like
Right.
that?
Why book this match like that?
Again.
After it's a rerun.
Yes!
It's microwave. Like this is not something I think is pay-per-view quality. Like I think they could do better. There's more people on the roster. There's different opponents. There's all kinds of things out there, and instead they're presenting you with something that we've already seen before, and they're giving us a finish we've already seen before.
Question, Tosh. Now I know how when they do the crown jewels and stuff, like they pick who they want and this, that, and the other. I don't know when the last time they've been in Canada, or now that they're going to different places. Do you feel as if that they like want to put on, your top tier or your biggest name people in shows like out of the United States, even though they're pay-per-views and they're broadcast everywhere? Like, do you think that could possibly be something that they want to do,
I mean, I think they're always trying to have.
or setting up for like a Netflix, trying to put out the biggest names, like going into that?
I think they always want to have as much star power on the card as possible, regardless of what it is. Like for a pay-per-view event, like I think that's probably their goal.
Sure, which is pretty much probably everybody's goal at the end of the day.
I mean, looking at this one, this card was missing Cody. I don't know why
Seth.
it was missing Seth. I'm trying to think of other top names that weren't included on this one. That's
Seth,
that might be
Cody.
it as far as like top guys that weren't included on this card.
I mean, yeah.
To me, like
Kevin Owens,
yeah, well,
Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Randy
there's
Orton.
way more.
Okay.
Holly. Good job.
Styles wasn't. I mean, he has
Yeah.
been around.
Hurt for
He's been
a
hurt,
while.
but
And
yeah,
Paul's been gone for
right.
since he lost
He
whatever.
hasn't been around for months and months, but I'm thinking like, to me this match wasn't pay-per-view quality. Like you could have mixed
Chad
it.
Gable, not on.
I'm just trying to think
He
why they
hasn't
would
been
go back to
featured
the.
at all.
I'm just trying to think why they go back to the well.
No, but he's somebody they haven't featured the whole
B
lot.
level.
He is a little B level, but he's still really good. Yeah, Shaq.
Otis made the.
Otis.
Yeah, he made
Oh, God.
the pay per view.
This to
He was
me,
looking slim fit in that
What?
T-shirt.
yeah, he was with the no draws on.
Yeah.
What happened with the superplex spot in the corner? That was a weird one. They just kind of like Gunther fell in the ring, and then Priest landed on the floor, and then that's when Baylor did the run in. It was a little weird to me. I don't know if that was a botch or if that was a setup for it.
It was a horrible way to set up the Finn Balor spot.
Okay, because just getting into the Baylor spot is why they
He
set that up.
puts
you think.
Gunther down, and then Priest just so happens to fall
Tumble
off the
out
top
of the
rope
ring,
to the
and it was
outside.
like, what the? And then Baylor does the run in that the ref doesn't see.
Great point, Ty.
I'm like,
It's-
I
ugh.
didn't even see it like that.
It's a horrible way to get to.
I wasn't
to
sure
the
if it was
Finn Balor
botched.
spot.
Yeah, and then the finish basically was Priest went back in the ring, and then Gunther got on the choke and
Well,
kind of.
Gunther boots Finn, which might become something at some point.
I think we're getting a three-way here. I think we're getting a three-way.
So, yeah, I mean, I could see him be like, why are you always interfering in my matches type of thing with Gunther. But, like, they did that for a reason.
Yes.
Gunther booting Finn, they didn't do that out of no reason. Like, they did that for a reason.
Yeah, I think we're getting a three-way here. This match to me, though, it did nothing for me. It was just there. It was kind of like a TV match.
Like I said, boring.
Wasn't horrible or anything, but this match went like 20 minutes, didn't it, Ollie? How long did this go?
19.
19? Okay. I'm going to go 2 stars on this one. Ollie? He's going lower.
One and a half.
Yeah, he's going lower. Hack, what do you give it, man?
I got a question. Like, so now that like they're split, that like is Gunther his own entity right now? So Finn
Pretty much.
Finn and Kaiser Roll were his guys, right?
Finn was
No.
never with them. No.
Finn was never
Kaiser
with.
Roll was.
Was Finn with fucking mom?
Priest.
Yes, he was in
Yeah.
the mommy group. Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a point here, though. Okay.
I don't know. I hated the match.
What do you give it, though? I mean, you got to give it something. 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Ty, what do you give this, man?
2.
Yeah, it's a 2 to me. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's nothing.
Gunther's getting better working with bigger guys. But other than that,
I will never remember
Oh, did you
this
notice
match.
the weights?
The weights?
Yeah. What's his name? Gunther was billed at. What's his name's bigger than him?
Priest.
Yeah. But Gunther was billed as more. Priest was billed at 245.
Really?
Or 249, yeah. Gunther
that's-
was billed a higher weight.
Okay, that's interesting.
One of those little things I catch.
Okay, there you go. Hack is such a weight stickler, man. He's such a.
No, but I couldn't believe when they said what's his name was 249 or 245, and I'm like, well, what the hell are they going to bill Gunther at?
That's
I don't even
interesting.
know why I was paying attention to it.
No, it's just something that triggered you.
Because
man.
usually I fast forward it to when they touch.
Okay. Up next was the War Games match. This is between the original Bloodline and the new Bloodline. So, starting this one off, obviously Jay started this one off. It only made sense for him to open this one up because you get his big entrance
you
and
get his
everything.
entrance and then,
Which is really smart booking to have him be the first guy out for them. But man, Tamatonga, I think he sucks. I think he is. Ollie's laughing. I think he's terrible. I do. I think I'm not a big fan of his.
I think he
he's,
bumps his ass off.
Is he the one that looks like Ollie?
No. Looks
Out
like
of all that
Ollie.
group, yes.
Yeah, that's got the proper cut. Like
Yes, out of that whole group,
okay.
yeah, he's
Wait,
the
is
one
it-
that looks like
no,
Ollie.
maybe I don't like Tangaloa. Which is the one I don't like? I'm getting them mixed up. One of them, the one who
Big
does,
surprise.
the one,
Tamatonga's the skinny one that like does the weird like
Yes,
shit.
okay.
Like, he's like
That's
the
the
skinnier
one that looks like Ollie to me.
Then I think I like the one who came in later. I don't like the one who came in later in the match.
He does nothing for me.
Okay,
Tangaloa.
I believe he's the one that I'm like, oh god.
Tamatonga, I think, at least bumps his ass off.
Yeah, so they start off with
Yeah, but the other kid's God. The other kid's.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the man.
We'll get to
It's
him,
so
man.
obvious.
It started off with Jey Uso and Tamatonga. They were just brawling around and pretty much just setting up, having fun. And this match was structured right with the babies being on the disadvantage. So like they did book this correctly, I think, with the layout of this. In next was Bronson Reed, man. And Bronson Reed, even though he's not in the Samoan family with them,
Sure, so it looks like he could be.
well, no,
Yeah,
he is of Samoan descent. He's just from Australia. He's just not related to the family. So, like, he fits with them. Like, it fits with a good mix for them. And I think he's awesome. Like, we talked about him last
that's
month.
where his fucking voice comes from. He's Australian.
Yeah.
That's when he talks.
Yeah.
All right. I thought he's British.
He did.
He's almost the same thing.
He brought in some chairs, which I thought, man, this guy's a big monster guy. He doesn't need to be the one to bring the chairs in the ring. How do you feel about that, Hack?
There was no big monster in the ring, dude. You see how small, short all them are? None of those dudes are monsters.
No, but Bronson Reed
is
Well, he's twice as thick as everybody else.
So he shouldn't be the one bringing in the chairs.
Is what I'm saying. I don't think
It's-
you're shitting on that point.
I would have liked it better if he would have brought him in and thrown him over the top of the cage like a Terry Funk thing or something like that. You know what I mean? But it was just weird how the girls had so much problems where everything were placed. And then the guys did. I was expecting the kind of the same thing out of the guys, but it wasn't at all. A lot of the guys went to the ring and they didn't even think about anything underneath the ring.
So, Hack, let me ask you, as somebody who is a construction guy, you've designed and built a lot of things, why don't they have a War Games, like a little slot in the cage where you could slide a table through for one little portion of the cage? So people would know.
Just like a little doggy door kind of, and you lift up the...
Yeah. I mean, these people struggle.
But so people somebody can slide out that way.
Yeah.
But that's not how you win or lose the match.
No,
Like
like a mail slot.
Just a slot for a table. How do you feel about
I
this
got
idea?
it. Yeah, this is, I'm not a fucking booker.
No.
But I could see this going forward. Like, you know how the cage drops from the ceiling, right?
Yes.
Before the match? Imagine if you had to get up to the top of that cage to press a button to release a weapon to come down into the ring.
I like that. That's a good angle. I like that.
Something like that, you know what I mean? More than, show it. You could get the table in there if you're... All right, first of all, the
Or you
girls
just had a
screw up.
bunch of shit dangling above the fucking ring.
Well, yeah, but I like it more like because
You
it's
earned it.
2024. You guys can get up there fighting for the button, which means nothing because you hit the button and it's going to
Press
be
the
20
button.
seconds before the thing comes down, and then you got two of your other freaking guys down there fighting for it as it's coming down. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like this idea, Hack. This is genius.
Because it was
booking.
just fumbled, and it's very hard for when the girls when you pick the table up and the top side is up and the legs are under, and you're trying to throw it into the ring.
It's gonna get
the
caught on the
stupidest
ring.
thing ever. Because the other legs drop down and they get held on. Oh, Tiffany, whatever. Am I talking about the right girl, the blonde chick?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I don't
With the
understand how they
table.
can't fathom this.
But she was setting up a table and she was putting. Okay, when you open up a table's legs, there's these little metal rings that you slide down to the bottom towards the floor, so the table doesn't, so the legs don't crumble. She was sliding them up towards the top of the table and then trying to stand the thing up. You know what I mean? It was like the girls' War Games. They had a lot of great ideas. It was just a lot of good spots and everything, like the teeter-totter spot with the girl pulling the table, pulling the chair into the ring, and the other girl teeter-totters or whatever. That's what I call it. You know what I mean?
That was a good spot.
The execution was just the shits.
Okay.
You know what
No,
I
I
mean? They
agree.
had nice ideas like little reverse spots in the corner.
Spot's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now-
But it just the execution was fucking horrible.
Yeah. Now, Hack, you've been in one War Games match before. I know you talked to us about
Yeah,
it.
Terry Funk threw the freaking chair. Me and Barry Windham were trying to take a powder. We're way over on the other side of the two cages. And I think I'm laying behind him and I got him in like a chokehold. I'm like, you good? Can we stay here for a couple minutes? She's like, thank you, brother. And next thing you know, Terry throws a chair over and hits me in the head. Freaking. He just threw it over the top of his head into the other ring and then lands right on top of me. I did the same thing to him, though, in the...
In Florida?
No, in the
Barely Legal?
our first pay-per-view.
Yeah, Barely
No, the
Legal.
very first one.
Yeah,
I just wrote that. Is that what it was? I
Manhattan
threw
Bagel.
the can over the top rope, but it just banged him right on top of that. It was that nice of a spot.
So he gave you a receipt a couple years later. So
But Terry, give me more.
up next in the match was
I love you, dude.
Jimmy Uso came in, so then they had to even up the odds a little bit. And then they did like a couple splashes in the corner and just beating away at Bronson and Tama Tonga. In the ring next was Jacob Fatu, and he went just beating everybody up. It was great. Him getting offense in on just about everybody was really cool.
I love his Coco Beware Boogeyman. Like,
I love it. Yes.
Like the jiggle,
Yes,
like the
that's great.
shit that he's going. Like, dude, I crack up every time.
It's
he does it.
Okay, now think about this. That kid's going to go like top heel, and then they're going to turn him baby, and then that spot the whole building will be doing.
Yes.
In like 4 or 5 years, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good shit.
I saw him probably for the first time, probably like 4 or so years ago at MLW with my boy Freeze, and we both were just like, man, this guy's got something, dude. He's so good.
I've seen him at the arena a couple different times.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
like,
at the
dude,
arena. He was
yeah.
just a fucking, he's got something.
And he was big, like fatter than,
Much
like
thicker.
bigger than, like
Much thicker.
he's slimmed down.
Yeah, he's leaned out a lot. Up next in the ring was Sami Zayn coming in for the baby faces. He made a nice little comeback on everybody, and then him and Jimmy. It was pretty cool to see them together. They did like
They did their handshake.
They did their handshake thing, which was cool.
Okay, sticks.
It's cool, man. It's a callback.
Okay,
It's a callback. Out next was Tonga Loa.
Oh, Tommy, come hug me.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I miss you, brother.
Yo, a man hug is way better than a 16-year-old handshake.
He got really offended by the fact you were busting his balls.
Losers.
He got really hurt there. He's like, a man hug is way better.
Dude, what is a man hug? Dude, a man hug is the like thing. There's no more respect that you can give to another man
Than a hug.
except when hugging.
Yeah,
him.
when you're
I
both
agree.
crying, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a tear in my eye.
These guys are bullying you, man. I'm not going to stand
I
for
know.
it.
I can't believe it.
I'm not gonna
I'm tagging you in.
Yeah, I'm not going to stand
What are you
for it.
gonna do?
A double clothesline and then a big splash.
Yeah, okay, you'd be so blown up after that. You'd be done. They'd pin your ass.
I missed the big splash, and then they do. That's the finish right there. That's a good book in there.
Tosh and Reed over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yes.
Don't let me splash through a table.
Tsunami.
I would die too.
You would have fucking.
No, you would kill somebody. You couldn't be in the. You couldn't be in the ring.
I thought he was going to do a Bigelow through the
They're
ring.
like, dude, you're okay if you do it off the bottom rope, but you can't go to the top.
Literally, I thought he was going to do a Bigelow
Hold on,
through
I'm trying to
the
get
through
this-
the
He
ring.
wants to take that spot.
Good thing Roman moved because he would have crushed him. with
Hold on.
that.
We're getting there. Tonga Loa was in for the Bloodline. He brought a table in with him, and that was
And that was it. No skill
that was it.
whatsoever.
There's nothing else to report on for Tonga Loa.
All he brought to the match was the table.
Table. Yeah.
Yo, good for him.
And an angry attitude.
Yeah, I probably got paid like $50,000 for that.
Out next was CM Punk, and him and Reigns were kind of like Reigns put his hand over the bar.
See, I hated that how they kept playing that card like a couple times. When the one girl wanted to come in, she stopped. The other girl came in. You know what I mean? It's like
It's a little too much.
Well, it was.
they did it like 3 times, I think.
Well, because Tonga Loa was about to go in and Solo sent.
He's like,
Jacob
stop.
he was like, nah, Jacob, you go in.
And then who was the chick that went in before Tiff or whatever the blonde chick's name is?
Raquel. It was Raquel.
Yeah, wasn't she getting ready to go in? And the
Yeah.
other girl blew by her.
Yeah.
And the girls thing,
Yeah.
and then there was, and then there was
and then the
Roman and Punk.
thing.
Yeah.
Roman put his hand out on the door.
Yeah, it's
stopped.
going to the well too often. Right now.
Okay, Punk gave him a little shoulder, went out to the ring, and then Punk is so smart. Watching him work in the match with the toolbox. You know, the previous time he used the toolbox as a spot, he opened up Drew Mack hard way on it. But these shots were like way more safe, and I thought it was really like smart work there by him with that. And then I love the bulldog spot to Jacob Fatu on the toolbox, and the no sell right there. And then Punk immediately feeds for him for the big was it the spine buster or the Samoan
No, it
drop?
was the Samoan drop.
Samoan drop. That was like that whole spot and that whole section was like, this is like the match is picking up at this point. So I thought that was really well executed.
Samoan drop too.
He does, and Punk took it really well. Hack, what do you got to say?
I'm at the finish.
You're
I'm
at
at
the
the finish
finish?
with Roman getting pulled off the
Well,
table.
we got
That's
a long-
my point.
We got a long way to go before we
I
get
know.
there. So
All right.
Solo Sikoa was in next. He's the last guy for the heels, and then he was just staring at Roman Reigns, and then he slammed the door on Sammy's head. And then he just, all the baby faces, it was like feeding them for getting the door
I like
slammed.
that when he was slamming on everybody's head.
Yeah,
that
they were all setting up the baby faces to get the door slammed on
And
them.
it actually looked like he was hitting them with it, so
Yes.
it didn't look bad.
Well, did you see how loose they made the cage though too? The cage had a lot of weight, like
had a lot of
like
give.
three maybe inches that you could go, and then like because when the girls did it, it was horrible. It wasn't even close.
Well, and you don't have to be that close. Like, you can just touch it because it's going to bang against the thing. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a good recoil, so you don't have to take it hard.
See, now the thing is, when you do a spot like that, it's like if I was doing that spot and I was the one that was inside the ring getting it hit on my head, I would know exactly where that cage closes to. I would have my right arm there, and that would be my gauge to where I can have my head.
On the inside part of it.
Exactly.
On the inside part.
Yeah, that's just your job to know to take that thing great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right.
After that, they locked the cage door. So
Dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
hated this.
Dumbest
hated this.
thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like, okay, you locked the door.
When you had Eho Sky climb the cage earlier and come in from the top with the trash can, what? Roman can't just climb in through the cage?
And was the match never going to start then if Roman didn't get in the ring? Like the match can't start till he's in the ring. So like what? It was just dumb. I
Listen,
didn't like
the only way you could
it was a couple. They're trying to get a couple That's like a Paul Heyman thing.
I
Literally, that's how do I make Roman look stronger? Like when he goes out there, what can I do?
But you're trying to. You're making your audience look stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and you're making it's stupid now. If each one of them went to a corner of the top of the cage,
Stood guard. Stood guard.
Stood guard, and they
right.
and they
Love
had to
it.
fight.
Good shit.
Love
Guys in the cage had to fight
See,
for
but
him.
then it makes it look like the ref was part of the cahoots with him.
Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying? But you can have a rogue ref.
no, but just the look of that. Like, they're all inside the ring, and he could go anywhere he wants. But like, if they went to each side of it and stood on top of it,
yeah, but it would be more. It's not like you would have two guys go up to the spot where he's up, and he would have
Whatever
to beat
it
up
is,
the
because
two.
it would-
But the point is, everybody
The
else is on point.
right, the look of it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
ultimately,
No, dude, that's a great look.
No, yeah, I like that.
ultimately, like 4 guards like standing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top of
And
the thing. Like,
with everybody down in the ring, and Roman's like,
right, and Solo like, come on.
Yeah.
All right,
on.
so wait a minute. How did the cage get locked? What? Why?
Solo brought a
locked it.
chain.
He brought a
with
chain around.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Roman,
Okay.
Roman.
So then it would have been better if Roman takes a walk around the outside a little bit.
Right, and
and
they're all-
that's
right.
when one gets up here, one gets up
Right,
here,
right.
one
Yeah,
gets up
Roman's
here.
walking
Yeah, I'm
around
getting
looking at the
goosebumps.
cages.
That's good book.
Yeah.
Roman's
It
walking
really
around
is.
looking at the cage, and
Where's the
Solo's-
weak spot?
Solo realizes he's like,
I don't have enough places.
Yeah, you there. Yeah.
Oh, and that puts Solo. I mean, if
Right.
you could do the fucking the cinematic part of it with Solo pointing here when he's going around this side. You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
him with his 4 guys, him in the center of the ring, like, come
And then he
on.
should get in the middle of the ring and do something like
Yeah.
this.
Well, that's
then
what-
Roman
and
just
then
goes
as,
in the middle.
and then as they start fighting against Solo back in the ring, somebody's
babies-
got to come down from a corner.
Right.
Roman
The
tries
babies-
to go up that way,
But that's when.
tries to stop.
Yeah, but that's when the
And his
babies
team
come up.
stops
Babies
those
roll
guys.
up and circle Solo.
Yes, that's when the
Because
babies
there's
come
5,
up.
there's 4 other babies in the ring.
Great! That's fucking
Yeah,
great!
yeah.
Right.
That's when the babies
4
rise.
other babies that were down in the ring come up and circle Solo, and
Hey.
the guys at the top gotta choose.
Hey,
Wow,
hey,
that's
Paul,
some good booking.
Hey, Paul, take a listen to the Sandman podcast. We got ideas for you.
Listen, I'm here every week.
That's a general idea for you, Paul. So Roman did like a splash off the
that was a
cage.
compilation.
Yeah, it was a team. Like, it's
Which
a
I'll
booking
take
committee.
credit for
It's a
totally.
booking committee.
You've been doing it my whole life.
So Roman does a splash off the cage, and then Roman was going around helping everybody up, but he didn't want to help up CM Punk. So then out came Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was begging them to work together, and then finally they agreed to work together. This is something. Can we never see this spot again when they do the standoff with everybody in one side of the ring and the other?
I hate that.
I hate that spot so much. It
And
looks.
then let's come to the
Yeah,
middle.
let's
and
all
punch each
climb
other.
in the middle of the ropes. And
What the hell? What the, they stand? I mean, it looks like a musical or something. It's
Dude, I'd be saying, no, I'm not doing that.
I hate that
I
spot.
would
You
say
hate
that.
it?
I don't care if it's Vince McMahon that was telling me to do that. I'd be like, I don't think this is right.
Do you hate that spot?
And
too?
then he'd be like, hack
Yeah,
to it,
sure.
and you'd be like, thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right, I'll do it.
He wouldn't even be hacked. He wouldn't even know my name. He'd be like, shut up, dude.
So
He'd
that,
be like, tell him that's what we're doing.
yeah. So then there was just like kind of working over a punk, some brawling. Fatu then missed a moonsault, and this got me too. Originally, I was like, wait, did he just blow out his knee? And he's
Great
done this a
sell.
couple times. His selling is so good that it's getting me, and I'm like, man, that's a great.
Oh, that ain't that hard.
What?
Jesus
did
Christ,
you?
you're half blind.
Did you not?
Dude, if he's getting you on that, come on.
Did you not think he was a little bit hurt, or
No, I knew he wasn't hurt at all.
Okay, I bit on that one too. So anyway,
Ty, did you bite on it? Ollie, did you bite on it?
okay.
Well, dude, there's not many things that you won't bite on, obviously. That was one. What a setup. When I
If you didn't say it, I was right there with it. I was like, well.
what a
What
setup.
a great spot! Great spot by you. That's a high spot right there. Oh God, I'm putting you over. That was great stuff. Up next was then.
Well, obviously you'll put anything over. Oh, I stubbed my toe getting into the ring.
Pack, you all right?
He's such a ball buster, this guy. This this was easily the spot of the match. Bronson Reed's going up top to do his tsunami splash through the table, and then Punk saved Roman at the last second from going
Dude,
through the
Roman
table.
would have got folded like an accordion
Great timing.
if he got clipped.
Dude.
But that's the timing it needs to be.
It was great
Yes.
timing because Bronson jumped. You can't pull him before Bronson
No,
jumps.
you can't.
And or it looks like shit. And it looked great.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest danger of that spot isn't Bronson even landing on Roman in there.
It's the debris.
When you pulling Roman off of that table, if that table goes on an angle like that, Bronson's taking that fucking table right in his gut on the side. So you got to make sure that table does not fall over
Yeah.
as you're pulling Roman off of it.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
Because if that table gets pulled over on a 45-degree angle, then Bronson's taking the fucking broken ribs.
Well, unfortunately, Bronson did suffer an injury on the spot.
Yeah, the fat fuck.
No, his ankles hit first. His feet hit the ground first before his stomach. So
I was
like,
gonna say what, broken gut?
Well, I know, but that makes sense too. You want to break your fall a little bit.
yeah, I mean, I did.
Well, yeah, you don't want to take that all on your gut.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't take that all on your gut.
It's a
just
tough-
like
What about your forearm?
even dude, when you're coming from let's say for 10 feet in the air, just about you're on a. Do you think the top of the cage could be more? I think it's 4 to the top rope and then 6 to the top of the cage. Because the guys are on the, but
I would
maybe
say
even
12
more.
I would say
because
12
their
foot.
hands are okay.
I think
all right.
12 is probably
so
the right
we're
time.
halfway up a backboard, okay? And now imagine you got to go. So anybody that's listening, so and everybody's been to a basketball court in a high school gym or whatever. So halfway up that backboard is where Bronson's jumping from. Well, he's not really jumping because he's fat shit. You know, he's more like
Falling.
leaning over. You know what I mean? So, but you can't imagine taking that, and you know the guy's not there, and you know the table is really like a piece of paper. You know what I mean? You're not going to take that whole thing on your gut.
Yeah.
You're just not. Rikishi, when Rikishi did the spot, you know what I mean? His feet are hitting first, dude. You got to protect yourself to a point.
I know Bronson Reed isn't taking this bump, but doing like a flip bump and missing is way easier, I think, than doing like a splash.
Oh, I'd much rather land on my back.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would
Yeah,
have
what
done
are
a
you
front flip
kidding
and
me?
miss, but way before
Absolutely.
I'm doing a splash and miss.
It's so much easier because you can get your heels over your head and your heels can hit, if you're that much of an athlete, your heels hit before your body even hits.
Yeah. Now, it was the spot of the match. It was a great spot, perfectly timed by Punk. Unfortunately, Bronson did get hurt on it, but Roman, this was the catalyst for Roman giving a handshake to Punk and picking up Punk. And then Solo laid out Roman with the spike, and that was a 2 count. Then the Usos hit Jacob Fatu with the 3D, and then set up a table, and then Jimmy went off the top rope on the cage, splashed through the table, which was really nice. And then it was just beat up on Solo time. Everybody hit their finishers on him, and then Roman finished him off with the spear. Punk struggled a little bit, it looked like, to get him up for the GTS. Did he slip on anything?
I don't know if it was
Solo did
wasn't
nothing
ready.
to help him.
Yeah, he wasn't ready and didn't I don't know, but he didn't help him at first.
That could be on purpose also.
Oh, okay. How long did this one go? Because this was all
It's had to go
41.
I was going to say
41.
37.
Wow. Okay. And that was the finish. Roman pinned him, and yeah, I mean, I think we're still going to get more of this bloodline stuff too. It's nowhere
The
close
Rock's
to
got to
over.
come in soon.
So that's
And
what.
there's another one coming in. Remember? There's
Yes.
another one coming in too.
So this is what's kind of like, okay, the show ends with them just celebrating up at the ramp, and I think we all kind of were like, all right, I'm waiting for The Rock to come out, kind of like it's almost become like Marvel movies now, where it's like you're waiting for the end of it to see what's next, kind of thing. And it's like The Rock didn't come out at this one, so kind of felt a little disappointing. I mean, I don't know. Hack, you don't feel that way?
Well, I feel that there's something going on with the booking, and I think that Paul has something to do with it.
Paul Heyman.
Yes, because I think their booking's the shits, and he wants to do something different, and it's not happening. And I think maybe that's why Paul stepped away. I mean, he just could have stepped away or whatever, but that's not a Paul Heyman show to me.
No, but I think the main event direction of the storyline of the Bloodline stuff is
That's
Heyman.
horrible.
I think it's Heyman stuff still. I think it still is, and I think
You don't need Heyman for that. It's already built in. Heyman built it all in.
yeah.
You just gotta like follow a basic plot plan of any of Dynasty. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
No, I know
know
what
what I
you're saying.
mean? Just follow a basic storyline.
Do you think we're getting like the rumor is that The Rock is not going to work Mania? I mean, obviously, if he wants to, it's going to happen. But do you think we're getting Punk and Roman at Mania? What do you think the Mania matches are going to be here?
I have no idea.
Me neither. And I think at Survivor
And
Series,
I think that's a good thing. I think they have a couple of different directions they can go.
Right now,
True.
I think that they're working towards Punk and Roman.
right? But is that going to be a Rumble match or is that going to be a
No,
Mania?
that's
match?
a Mania match.
That's a Mania.
Yes, that's where I think they're going, and you're going to put Paul right there in the middle of it the whole time, which is perfect for the 6 months that it is. You know what I mean?
Whose side is
That's
Paul on?
exactly where they're going.
Okay, interesting.
Main event. Then maybe we'll have The Rock show up there.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting now to see how the Samoans break down all this cluster of all these Samoans and what's going to happen now. You know what I mean? Because it's after like the War Games or whatever. There's tags here and stuff like that. But how much further are they going to go with this?
You have to go a lot further because you have to do. Roman and Solo have yet to have the match for, as you call it, the Thing of Peppers.
That'll never happen.
You don't think they'll have a singles match?
Nope.
I do. Roman and
It's
Jacob.
Roman wins.
I know.
Why even have it?
Because you still have to beat the guy who claims he beat you or claims he took you out.
No, or maybe the guy fucking gets down on his bends the fucking knee and says, "You're right."
And that's it.
Maybe the guy
You
bends
have,
the knee.
you have it at Royal Rumble, and then
I mean, you got to do Jacob Fatu and Roman at some point, too. I mean, there's a lot of matches you got to do here. There's still with this bloodline stuff. So
Yeah, it's like, how's it going to break down now after this?
I don't know.
You know
We'll
what I
see.
mean? It's
Yeah,
I
but the
don't want to
thing
see
is-
Jimmy J.
But the thing is now WrestleMania, you're setting up because the Bloodline doesn't need a belt.
No.
Like that's it. You
Nothing.
know what I'm saying for
Yeah.
Mania. So you're in a perfect situation right that you have Cody with his belt.
That's a great point.
You have Gunther with his belt, and honestly, the Bloodline situation might be bigger than the Cody match and the Gunther
It
match.
is. You
and
put
at
Rock
WrestleMania.
in there.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. So you're winning on all fronts.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to have a huge angle that has nothing to do with the belt.
Yeah.
Right. So then you clearly have 2 championship matches. Like you don't want to overshadow your champion, but I mean,
Rock goes out there, is overshadowing anybody in the goddamn company. I don't care if you had 9 belts.
yes,
No,
I
agree.
understand that. I'm saying like theoretically you don't.
Yeah, I
but
get you.
The Rock's super. What's the word I'm looking for? Superts or
Superlative?
no?
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever. He surpasses whatever champion, and he's bigger than the company itself, probably.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is there anybody missing right now?
Cena's going to be at this Mania.
That I'm saying
Cena's done.
Cena's very well could win the Rumble, huh? You say no chance?
Yeah, okay, but for who? For what?
Because it's his last
What, are you
run.
going to be Cena back to WrestleMania?
It's his last run. He's having one last
He's
run.
retiring.
All right,
He's
So-
working a lot of shows. He's working a lot of dates.
Yeah, but you know what? It seems like Cena they would put in against a Miz.
No, I think Cena's
Something
going to
like
work.
that.
Gunther.
No, he is
I was
not
gonna
going
say
into
Cena
a major
Gunther.
angle.
Cena
Cena
Gunther, I've
Gunther.
been calling that match for a while.
The
Nope.
true American champion,
Yep.
John Cena versus.
So they're going to change it the next night on Monday Night Raw, so
Cena's
Cena
doing-
doesn't have to defend it.
Cena's doing a little bit longer after Mania too, so it's not like Mania's his last night. He's doing a little bit of a tour.
Or
with
do
them.
you do?
Right, well,
So-
then that makes me think that that's why he's going to belt.
I think that's my prediction.
You're gonna
So-
win
Cena Gunther?
I
I
think
could see
Cena-
that.
I've been saying
Ultimate
Cena-
American hero versus the.
I've been saying Cena Gunther for a while. I think that's where it's
Yeah,
going.
I'm going to throw
Or
up
you go,
thinking about
or
that.
you go Ultimo Baby, Cody Cena.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do Cody
Ultimo
Cena.
Baby versus
You could.
Ultimo Baby.
You could absolutely do that.
You
could
can't.
do- you could.
You can't.
I mean, you
It
could.
doesn't work for the crowd.
Well, I think you'd get.
But
Let's go
that
Cody. Let's
doesn't
go
work for
Cena
the crowd.
chance. Eh,
Does not work for the crowd.
I know, but that's
You're
why I
burning
like it.
yourself at 2 ends. You're burning 2 huge babies in one match.
But that's why I like it.
that's interesting, Hank. We'll see. They got a lot of stuff in motion. They don't really have a lot of stuff where you're like, yeah, that's definitely going to be a
But
Mania
definitely,
matchup.
I'm saying right now, it's Cody and Roman in WrestleMania.
Again, 3
Yeah.
years in a row. Yeah, maybe. Overall, though, for the War Games match, what do you give this, Allie? I'll go 3.5 stars for it.
I'm going 3.
3. Hack, what do you give it? He's like,
2.75.
he doesn't even go 3 for it. Wow. Okay, Ty.
No, it's just.
I'm struggling to get to a 2, but I'll say 2.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like any. I struggle really hard with the stipulation because I'm not invested in the thing until the match gets going. Like until everybody's in the ring. And
Yeah, it's like for who? For what?
Yeah,
like 30 minutes for what? In the men's match?
yeah, I
It
just
went 40, right, Ali?
Yeah, 40.
and there's nothing
Yeah,
in between that really gets me to. I mean, other than watching Jacob Fatu because he's my favorite.
And we've
I
seen
think,
them all
but
work together, do any
1,000
spot they
times,
can
so
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, I hear you. It's a lot of the stuff that we've
So
seen
he's just
before.
killing time.
Overall, for this pay-per-view, though, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5, man. I don't think that this was very good at all, and I think it was kind of a forgettable pay-per-view.
I agree.
Ollie, what do you give it, man?
Same.
1? Hack?
Sure.
Wow, he's giving it a half. Sure.
That's like a 0.25.
That's a .2.
No, dude. I was
quarter
thoroughly
shot.
disgusted with this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is not the WWE that I'm used to.
Yeah, it was not
It's
good.
just not.
It's been the WWE
Yeah,
of
we've
late,
talked
though.
about it since like SummerSlam. It's kind of been the thing.
Well, the singles matches killed. The 2 singles matches were just horrible.
Yeah. All right,
They
guys.
just were. The girls' match was horrible.
Yeah. Up next week on the show, we are reviewing ECW Holiday Hell 1995. Hack, you worked Ty's father figure, Scotty, on this one. So, you
Who?
look. Hack's Ty's
My
father
stepdad.
figure?
95, me and Raven were working together
Yeah,
already.
yeah. You
I
guys
would
were
have
working
said
together.
that until like 96, 97.
Yeah, so you worked Scotty on this one, and we're going to be recapping
Yeah,
that.
beat the fuck out of that pussy.
You actually, I think you did go over in this match, actually, too.
I went over?
Yeah, I know. Surprising, I know.
1 in a million.
Really?
Guys, some housekeeping notes for you here. If we ended up on your Spotify Wrapped, please let us know and tag us on Instagram
Whatever
or
the hell
Twitter.
that is.
Well, Hack, you can see on Spotify, they provide this list that shows
He
all the
probably has
songs.
no
Dude, I
idea
have
what
no
Spotify
idea how
is.
to find Spotify.
There you go. Well, Like if you guys have been listening to the show and it's one of your top 5 podcasts on the year, tag us on Instagram. A couple of you already have, so thank you for listening to the show. And we will
send us in some questions.
Yeah,
send us in some videos. You doing something stupid and funny.
Okay, yeah, send us in stuff. Definitely make sure to like, share, review, and subscribe. No one is backing us but us and you guys, so I just want to let you guys know that. And if you are in the tri-state area or even want to take a road trip, we are going to be at Suplex Vintage Wrestling on December 21st.
Ho.
A little holiday party with the Sandman podcast. We're going to have more details out for you guys soon on our social media, but we can't wait to
because
see
we ain't
you
got
all.
our shit together yet.
Dude, but not only for us, but dude, if you want to marry two things together, us and that store is. If you're a wrestling fan, you got to see this store.
Yes.
I don't care, WWE, WCW, ECW, whatever it is, they got everything that you want and need or find cool in that store. Trust me.
And we're bringing out a new Sandman shirt.
Yes.
Bandit, dude, a shirt's a shirt, but this shirt is different. You're gonna love it.
You are going to love it. And just an update on that, too. Our first shirt finally shipped out. So check out our social media. Thank you so much to everyone who purchased the shirt and sent us in
So
any
what, we're
pics.
40. He's been telling us about these T-shirts since episode like 11.
Wow.
So now we're at what 40,
We're
and
at
the
40.
T-shirts are finally here.
Well, heck, there was a little...
Loser.
We had a little hiccup.
Yeah, there was a little hiccup. These shirts are awesome, too. So send us in your pictures once you guys get them. Hack's just such a ball buster.
Why
tonight, I
do you
swear.
even sell what I'm even
Because
saying?
I have to. I can't help it. You're such a fucking dick.
Yeah, but the stuff we're doing at Suplex December 21st, we're going to have some sort of thing going there, a live podcast, a little bit of a party thing going on there. We'll have more details coming out, but you'll definitely want to be there for that.
Absolutely. So, as always, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Johnny from San Antonio writes in, "What's good, boys? Hope y'all worked up a nice appetite. Maybe take a little walk. I know Hack had the help of the Pendo Stick before y'all's Thanksgiving plates. My question for Hack this week goes like this. With all the talent who came through ECW for short stays, talent like Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, Ray and the Luchadors, Terry Gordy, who out of all these talents did Hack like having in the locker room, and did Hack party with Terry Gordy?"
No, Terry was like off.
That was after he had his incident.
All right, I'll tell you a quick story about Terry. We're in. I told you guys this before. We're in Flagstaff in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and the building is literally on the top of. It's like a 4,000 foot mountain. The bar's built on top of it, and they have an outside deck that you go out and you can eat dinner and look over the whole valley. But if you went over the edge, you were falling like 3,000 feet. And that's where they would put all of us in the locker room. So I was scared to death to literally walk around there. I would always sit right by a door. So if that deck collapsed, I could get my ass out of there. But the first time Terry Gordy's in, I'm sitting right next to the door. Todd Gordon's sitting next to me, and then Terry Gordy's sitting next to him. Terry he goes to light a joint, and Todd's in between me and him, and Terry's lighting a joint. He goes, "Do you think the owner will mind if I smoke this out here?"
Oh God! He was like, "That's how."
Terry, you're good.
Oh God! Oh wow! Oh, that's
Yeah,
something.
he was out of it. The best thing Raven ever did was walk him through that cage match. Him and Raven had a cage match soon after what I'm talking about. So, but Raven did a great job getting a great match out of him.
Yeah, great question.
Because he had died a couple times on the table at that point.
He wasn't the same ever since he had the overdose in Japan. Yeah. It's very unfortunate. Mike, he did not give us a town.
Mike.
So you get a cane for that, but I know you're local because of the
Mike.
question. I work in Upper Darby right near Wilson's Secret Sauce Barbecue.
Get out of here, dude!
Dude, I've been looking to try that spot
So
for a minute.
I've had it before. It's good. And then
Of course you have. Jesus Christ!
I set him
Yo,
up for
Todd,
that.
you-
I set him up for that one.
Yeah.
No, I was
That
feeding.
was a
I was
softball
feeding. I was
one if I had
feeding.
ever
I was
seen it.
feeding to take a bump off that. That's what I'm doing. Wondering what Hack's favorite food is in Delco, Upper Darby, Drexel Hill, Havertown. Local spot that you really like really big fan of.
All right. Here's the thing. I have been out to eat a zillion times in my life, literally a zillion. So I just eat at home right now. I don't have a great spot, but I would say Delco Steaks, if anything, that I had to.
You like Delco Steaks? Or what about near you guys? What about Pagano's? You like Pagano's?
Pagano,
Great
Pagano's
sandwiches.
Pagano's is good. It's a little pricey. Hack's a fan of the Sicilian pie at Italian Delight.
Okay.
Italian Delight's a good spot.
Yeah, I'll
there.
text these guys. I'm like, I'm getting dinner. I'm getting a Sicilian.
Okay.
Yeah, there's I want to try that. What's it? The barbecue.
Wilson's.
Wilson's.
it's
Yeah,
good.
I haven't. I've been driven by it a million times. I haven't actually got it. I always forget about it, to be honest with you. Anything I got off the top of my head?
Anything for you, Ollie? Any local spots here people
No,
go
I mean
try?
Delco Steaks is phenomenal, obviously. But no, nothing off the top of my head.
Nothing.
Think of, no.
Okay. Up next is Darren from Grimsby in the
wow.
UK.
Darren!
You guys asked about my hometown on last week's episode.
Yeah.
And the info I can give you is Grimsby is in the northeast of England and is mostly known for the fish stocks. So there you go.
All right, that makes sense totally, though. I mean, the place is basically an island.
Yeah. He asks, what was the moment that made you become fans of the wrestling business? Mine was watching ECW for the very first time back in 1998. Keep kicking ass and thank you again. Well, I mean, these guys grew up in it, so I think they're going to have different answers than me. But Hack, what's your answer?
Well, I see. I don't have an exact answer, dude. I was like 5 years old watching this shit at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Because you only had so many stations. It's not like it is today. So it was maybe a Bruno Sammartino, maybe Andre the Giant popped in, or an Ivan Koloff. I like the bad guys, but I don't have an exact thing because I just remember that I've always loved it.
Okay. And I'm like
And I
kind
live
of...
my life stream.
I'm kind of like the same way. I like playing with like the WWE dolls back in the day, the toys and everything. And I remember as a kid, the one angle that really got to me was Owen Hart gave Shawn Michaels an enziguri, and they sold it like Shawn Michaels had like a legit concussion. And I remember being like a kid, and I was like, "Wait, this is real." I was that was like the one angle to me.
Dude,
And I'm like,
I thought it was real until I was like 14. And then me and Ruben started going to freaking shows, like sitting in the first couple rows, and then you just
I know, but it's a little bit different. I mean, you were 14, what, in like 1980?
I was probably
Not
eight,
even.
I was probably
Yeah.
8 or 9 when this angle happened. How
Yeah,
about
not
you, Ty?
even.
Did you
It was a
have
little bit different for...
I mean, you guys grew up in the business, so your answers are going to be a little different. But like, did you have anything where you're like, this is where I like love wrestling, or anything like that, or anything?
No, I mean, it's like you said, it's tough for me. I grew up in the business, but...
every dude coming back bleeding, freaking everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5, 6 years old. I'm like, yo, what's up, dog? They're like, hey, Ty, what's up? Like I'm back there.
No,
like,
I know it's a different mindset for you, like, because like me, I'm growing up as a fan, so it's a little like
It's crazy, but the thing I always thought of is like, man, would I even like wrestling if I wasn't born into it? You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
not.
Like, would
Like
I
CJ.
even- Yeah,
CJ,
see-
my youngest son, he's 19 years younger than him. Dude, he don't care about anything about wrestling.
Right, he's 16 years old now. Never really, like, he obviously knows Hack's a wrestler, but never really got to see him. I mean,
Hack was pretty much kind of done wrestling by that point when
Yeah.
CJ was born.
And how about you, Ollie? Anything stick out to you as like, this is when like you just always loved wrestling, or like?
Dude, it was... I don't know if it was like I always loved it. I mean, I do now, but like I'm saying, it was just what we did.
It's you always
Like,
knew
it was just there.
Yeah.
Like,
I think when you were younger, like, you loved it, and then for a little bit, you kind of like went away from it, and then like you kind of like rediscovered your love. You can say
dude,
where I'm wrong.
it's
You can say
easy.
if I'm wrong,
but that makes sense because once you figure out that there's girls in life and shit like that, and boys and partying, the wrestling goes to the side because you're not fucking worried about that shit, and then you'll come back to it later on in life.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit different for him because I was involved
in
with it.
WWE kind of got to a point to where it was
It
like,
blew.
Not good.
yeah, and it's like there's no other real
the same for me.
alternative.
Yeah, and
Like,
the same
out
for
there.
me.
And it's like if I want to watch New Japan, I either got to watch it
Access TV or New Japan World or like,
time it up to their time zone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like,
And the difference is you're born in 1998. I had already retired. And I had already been retired, had my stint. I had already been retired.
Wow.
Done all that. So, like, I was just born into
Steve Carino.
No, but it was different. I was born into business, had a little, whatever. Oliver was a little bit different. He wasn't, like, as born in the business. So to see that, like, he's still, like, passionate about the business and knows a shit ton about the business is a credit to him because he didn't have what I had.
True.
Okay, but on the other hand, we had my daughter Kelly, who we don't talk much about because she don't give a shit about wrestling. But she was around it the whole time.
She doesn't.
The whole time that Ty was around it too. You know what I mean? But she doesn't still have the same tie with it at all.
No, it's funny because but she's always asking like, "Oh, how's Todd? How's because I'll say like I was with Todd.
These are like family friends. It's like,
Dude, she grew up like Todd's an uncle.
Yeah.
To her like all these dudes like Score. She's like, "Oh my God, Score! I haven't seen him in so
Kelly
long."
was everywhere they were. She wasn't just at home.
Right.
No, every weekend he was with us. Kelly was with us.
Right, and
because we didn't fly back in those days. We were all like Reading, Allentown, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, Delaware.
Right, and every time I see Todd, how's your sister doing? See Scorp, how's your sister doing? Like they know. We don't like really talk about it because she's not like a huge wrestling fan.
It's
but
just so crazy how all VCW was just like a family.
Dude, Guido will come up to me. How's your mom? How's your sister? How's that? Like it's that's just what it was.
I would love to have them on for an episode sometime if they'd be down to do it. I mean, that'd be super cool. Great question, Darren, as well. Up next,
wow, we talked about it for 5 minutes. Good job, Darren.
My sister can rip hack like the best of them.
Good.
Gosh, you would love it.
She's a loser.
So I'll hand the mic off gladly to her. You thought he had a bed with us around.
No, but actually, she's a badass. She
Hack's scared of her. He won't admit it, but he's scared.
You're backtracking like a true heel. You're begging off. You're begging off right now like a true heel, Hack.
I don't like answering to Kelly at all. She's like, Hack, get the hell out of bed and let them take you to the hospital.
Nah, she's a badass. A lot of credit to her. She's totally self-made. EMT.
Dude, she runs the freaking emergency department at Temple University. A gunshot every night, and she starts at 12 midnight till 8 a.m.
Well, shouts out to you, Kelly.
Every
Keep up the
night
great
she's
work.
got a
Paramedic, EMT,
like,
cop in Chester, nurse
fireman.
now. Yeah, she's
a
run
beast.
the whole shit.
Shouts out,
Future mayor
She's
of
the baddest
Bromo.
of us all.
shouts out to Kelly.
She is.
She's got the adrenaline junkie gene.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Up next is Doug, the professor, writes in. Here we go, Hack. This guy.
You better be telling me about Armenia right
He
now.
prefaces it like this. Hold on. Listen, this guy, Doug, I'm telling you, got heat with Hack, and it's not a good guy to have heat with. Here we go. So I've been swamped with job stuff lately, exams, term papers, etc. And that's why I have not responded to the Armenia thing. I promise
Nice.
I will when I get some air. But I do want to say something about the last podcast, Hack. Hack talked about Oliver Twist in the medieval times, and I know
Please, sir, may I have some more?
and I know he was just kind of on a rant, but Oliver Twist, written by Dickens, is actually a Victorian novel. I think it was written in the 1840s. Been a long time since I read it. The medieval times in England were somewhere between the Norman, yes, the French, they're still sissies, conquest at the Battle of Hastings in 1066.
Wow.
And
I
about-
know the Battle of Hastings.
And about the year 1500, give or take a few decades. By the way, don't know how old all of you are, but there's a great episode of Cheers where Frasier is reading the classics to the barflies and making things up as he goes along. Oliver Twist is one of the books he uses. He includes machine guns and butt kickings to keep Cliff and Norm interested. Great episode if you can find it. I just didn't want listeners thinking that orphans and orphanages in the medieval era like Oliver Twist in the 1800s. I don't even think they had orphanages until the 18th century. And I may be wrong, but I believe your own townsman Ben Franklin may have been the one to propose them. Wow, Doug, thank you for that email. That is some great stuff there, but I got to tell you, we need Armenia.
I yield.
Oh, he yields again,
You
Doug.
pussy!
Dude, I have to.
No, I'm
Because
not
he
putting
makes
Doug
sense.
over. He said he's got no time to talk about Armenia.
And he's
then
rattling
gave a
off
fucking-
Oliver Twist.
And then gave a fucking full
Yeah,
book report on
yeah.
Oliver Twist.
Yeah, and
you, if
cheers.
you did that, you have time to talk about
No,
Armenia.
he
I
knows
ain't
what
putting
he's
him over.
talking about.
He does.
Though.
He
When
does.
he talked about Hastings, he knows what he's talking about.
He does.
That dude knows.
No, fuck that.
No, he does. But Doug, you do owe us, Doug. Okay.
Fuck that. You said
Doug-
you ain't got time for Armenia, but you can pull out Oliver
We
Twist.
need you to
fucking
tell us
a
about the
book
Armenian
report.
genocide,
Fuck that.
Doug. And
By the
let's-
Turks.
By the Turks. We need to hear about
He
it,
doesn't
Doug.
know.
People need to know. Up next is Mike from New Haven, Connecticut, writes in, listener since week 2 of the podcast.
Yeah, Mike.
Love it.
And
Thanks,
I've
brother.
got to say, the show just keeps getting better and better each week.
Of course it does. I'm on it.
Okay, geez, he put you over here too. I don't even want to read this. Overall show rating for me is an easy 5 out of 5 Shaws.
Hell yes.
Really hoping Hack keeps the shot rating system going. Anyway, I got a 2-part question for Hack. If you could go back in time to 1993 while retaining all of the knowledge you have today in 2024, essentially being able to see into the future what you've already lived, what would you change, and would you change anything about your career?
Nothing. It's throwing a pebble in a pond, dude. The ripple effects. You change one thing, I wouldn't be sitting here right now with my sons.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can't change anything.
You can't change anything. It
No,
is-
because
it-
you change one little freaking 10-second piece and it change your life
Do you thi-
forever.
the
do you
butterfly
think-
effect.
Do you think, because I feel like you said this to me before, do you think the new age ECW and WWE, once you're in WWE, do you feel the only thing that you might have been changed is you would have been a little bit more of like a yes man?
Yeah, yeah, he's right. That
You wish you would've
I
played
just
ball a little
couldn't
bit more.
handle being around those lying fucks. Everybody's lying to you. You can't believe anything that anybody says. Wrestlers, freaking bookers, anybody. You know what I mean? It was just so horrible for me. Because I was raised in an ECW locker room where it was all for one and one for all.
Right.
There, it's all for one.
Oh, and I'm not
And me
expecting
for
that,
myself.
and I'm not expecting that to be easy. But if
No,
maybe, quite possibly, there could be one possible thing.
But who cares? I could have had a shitload more money right now, but that doesn't mean I'd be living with my
Happiness,
sons
right,
and
yeah.
my grandkids. I could be dead.
No, that's
I could
true.
have died on a flight or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. For
sure.
You can't change the ripples in the pond.
Yeah, no, that's a great question and great answer there, Hack. Up next is Pat from Ventura, California, writes in.
Hi, Pat's
Hey,
always
Pat.
in.
Hey guys, question of Hack. Several episodes back, he mentioned Colorado Springs being beautiful and was wondering how many times he's been. Besides living in California and Hawaii, I briefly lived there in 2017 to 2020.
Colorado, what did I mention Colorado Springs about?
You mentioned you liked Colorado Springs. And then
Oh,
you couldn't-
no, it's beautiful. I mean,
Okay.
anything, dude, you go
What did he
any-
say? How many times?
Drop
He's asking how
yourself,
many
get a
times you've
penny,
been there?
throw a dartboard anywhere in Colorado. Throw a dart at a dartboard shaped like Colorado, and it's just beautiful out there. Utah's the same thing.
Gorgeous.
Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. It's just so beautiful.
I know it's crazy. When we lived down in Utah, I wish I was a little bit older so I'd appreciate it more. But like just walking out,
Did you go to Mount Zion?
We're at a
Did you go to Mount
5,000
Zion?
foot mountain right in our back door.
literally, you're walking out to go to school and there's just mountains of snow covered. Like it's a summer and there's like snow covered mountains like in
Still.
the back.
I took a family trip to Utah. It was
It's
great as a
crazy,
kid.
but
It
I was like super
beautiful.
young. I didn't know
Dude, we
any
moved
different.
there in September, August or September, and the mountains were still, the top of the mountains were still covered with snow.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Crazy stuff.
There was like 14 foot or something like that year.
But yeah, it's pretty. It's definitely gorgeous.
He
out
also
there.
writes in for Hack and the Squad. What do you want for Christmas? I'm 38. I don't know.
Pajama pants.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I
There
want
you
some.
go, Hack.
I want some Zubaz pants. So that's what I want for Christmas. Anybody have anything they
I
want?
want
for,
an Eagle Super Bowl. For
oh, that's
Christmas.
a good. Well, it'll be a little
Yeah.
later though. So you know,
See, you can't say that. To
Yeah.
me, I don't know. I can't
right.
say that thing. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
All right. How about
How about some Danos tequila? That's a good one. Yeah,
There
more,
you go.
More Danos
I've
tequila.
had like 8 shots
Oh,
tonight.
you,
I'm
yeah,
good.
you
Send me a couple more bottles, Dennis, please.
All right. As always,
Jalapeno pineapple.
that's right. It's fantastic stuff. As always, guys, send us in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. We did get a lot of questions in our inbox, so if we didn't get you in this episode, we'll get you in next. Up next week is Holiday Hell 1995, but before we leave, the Cane of the Week or the Toast of the Week. Hack.
The Danos toast of the week?
Well, here we go. Hack, what do you got here, brother?
All right, well, Danos is right there, but...
That's who you're toasting to, Danos? Michael?
I got to give it to Saquon.
Saquon gets the toast, okay.
Yeah, Saquon,
And
what
does
a beast.
anybody get a cane? You caning anybody this week?
No, because I think he's so over that he doesn't need to be taking anything out away from him.
Oh, I like that. You're giving just a toast this week. I love it. All right, well, guys, like, share, review, subscribe, tell a friend, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.